Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Team Galactic podcast, creating not just a better world for you, but also your Pokemon. We're your hosts.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Justin. And today, this is going to be our full episode of looking over everything in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, from the Pokemon TCG all the way into the Pokemon games, including leaks, rumors, speculation, everything just about the series, both official and leaked stuff. So, this is your spoiler warning now. If you do not want to hear anything about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, anything at all, please click out of this podcast now, stop listening to it. But, if you are ready to hear about it, let's get down to business. So, first things first, we're going to talk about the Pokemon TCG. So, we're going to talk about the new set, the mechanics coming out with it. It seems like there's only 5 cards they've officially announced in the games here. So we have Koraidon and Miraidon EX. We have Lucario EX, Mimikyu EX, and Magnezone EX. And one thing that kind of different with old EXs is they're bringing back the Ruby and Sapphire type EX. These are Pokemon EXs that you have to evolve into. So we have Magnezone EX with 2 attacks. The first attack for 1 energy is Energy Crush for 50 times. This attack does 50 damage for each energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. I definitely think that's going to be a really good attack, especially for 1 energy. What do you think, Andrew?
I think that's definitely going to be good. What I'm seeing right now, I mean, of course, we don't know what the meta is going to be like when this set comes out, but I'm seeing Clefairy, where you can attach Psychic Energy to itself. I've seen him put up to 5 on each one of them. It's ridiculous. Same with Shadow Rider, that's being played.
Also, Palkia. Palkia and Kyurem.
That's a good counter. Goodra, I've seen people stack it up. I know you don't stack it up, but I've seen others do it. I don't know
Arceus
why.
deck, Turbo Dart.
People actually play Dialga, and you need 5 energy on that alone. So 50 times 5, you're probably getting a knockout, even if there's resistance, weakness, or anything like that.
Oh yeah, you also have to understand, this is Magnezone. This is the Sage 2. So this is doing massive damage. And then it's weak to it's weak to fighting. It has a retreat cost of 3.
That seems normal.
Yeah, and its second attack is called Pulse Launcher for 220. It's 2 lightning energy, and this Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. So you're doing
That's a fair trade.
Yeah, so you're doing 220 for 2 energy, and you're taking 30 to yourself. That's really good damage. Especially for 2 energy, and you could play this pairing it with an Arceus deck and just start going off.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you could pair that with.
Okay, and moving on to Mimikyu EX, its HP is 190. It's a Psychic type because they got rid of the Fairy type in the games. For a Psychic energy, it's Void Return for 30. I can't read anything else about it, just because it's blurred out on what the card is. I think it says you may swap this Pokemon with a Pokemon on your bench. I think that's what it does, because that's what Void Return mostly does for other people, for other Pokemon that have used it before. And that's 1 Psychic Energy. And other than that, the second attack, I can only see the damage. It says 30 times. That's all I can see out of it. It's weak to metal, and its retreat cost is 1. Without any more information, I can't really say anything about if it's going to be good, if it's going to be okay. There's nothing really we can do with it. Moving on to Lucario EX, it's a stage 1, and it's 260 HP.
That's a lot.
So it seems like these big EXs, they're going to have lower numbers than something that we've had previous with the VMAXs and stuff. Kind of like the tag team GXs, how they were getting bigger and bigger. It seems like they're going back down on numbers. And it's Lucario's first attack is 60 damage, and it looks like it's for a fighting type energy, just plain old 60 damage.
I found a picture of just the card. It says low sweep.
60 for a fighting energy. Okay. I can't see anything else with the second part of the card other than 160.
Under 160, I see the word opponent, and I can't tell if the second word is underneath. It might be defense, or I don't know. I see ENCE.
That would be resistance. Okay, so something to deal with resistance.
Opponent. Maybe it attacks the bench too?
Yeah.
That's what the resistance might be?
Probably. And it looks like 2 retreat cost, and it's probably going to be weak to Psychic, I would have to say.
Yeah, that's the norm for Lucario.
And now moving on next to Koraidon EX. We don't know the type it's going to be. We don't know the HP. And it has the ability Dino Cry. Once during your turn, you may attach up to 2 basic blank energy from your discard pile to your basic blank Pokemon in any way you like. If you use this ability, your turn ends. That alone is just really, really good.
That's a turn 1 thing, kind of. Definitely need that. That will get you going.
I have a feeling, because it is confirmed that the Koraidon and Miraidon are going to be Dragon type, I have a feeling they're going to bring back Dragon type energy.
That would be interesting, because, what is it, the only Dragon energy that really is Double Dragon, other than the basic Dragon type, and that's been out of rotation for quite a while. It's really usable. Yeah, it's really usable and expanded. It makes a lot of Dragon types set up quickly. So if this is a Dragon type, that's going to be exciting. Yeah, and
it'd be nice if it was like a basic Dragon energy, like a new basic type of energy. Really cool. That would be like super new, super interesting, because we've never had a specific Dragon type of energy. Which is really cool. And then its attack is Wild Impact for 220. We don't know how much it's going to like do anything for like the energy cost. And during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So that's really, really still good, because you can retreat it, have up your next one, and just start swinging. So like you can retreat, swing, you can switch. You have so many switch cards in this format to where like it's fine.
Yeah, you could possibly even pull the Zacian thing I've seen, where people rotate it out of the active and then put it back.
Yeah.
Because it will, quote unquote, reset, which is really weird.
Because
how the rule goes.
The way it works is because the reason why that works is because when you go onto the event of the bench, all existing effects are removed on that Pokemon. It's why Volcanion EX, whenever that was in standard format, could do that. It's just how the ruling goes. Now there are certain things that don't reset, like abilities. You would have to pick them up and put them back down to like the lost zone, the Comfy. You have to pick it up and put it down with Scoop Up Net. And we don't know anything about the weakness, resistance, or retreat cost for it, just because they want to keep that a secret.
If it's like the dragons that are currently out, it's still weird that they're like, hey, here's this really powerful dragon Pokemon. No weakness, no resistance. And it's like, that's great. Because they have high numbers.
And I think the reason they're keeping it clear, like kind of white and kind of silverish for both of Koraidon and Miraidon EX, it's because they don't want anything to like guess the type it's going to be, even though they're probably going to be Dragon. Or what they could do is they bring back the dual types.
Oh man, dual types would be fun again.
We haven't seen dual types in Steam Siege.
I briefly saw those when I got back into the TCG. What was it called? Volcanion EX?
Yeah, Volcanion EX, Bisharp, there's Rainbow Road, which really kind of took advantage of it. There was Galvantula, Bisharp, Azumarill, Volcanion EX, Xerneas, who was just pure Fairy, and what it did was it took advantage of it. Moving on to Miraidon EX, its ability is called Tandem Unit. Once during your turn, you may search up your deck for up to 2 basic blank Pokemon, and put them onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck. That's huge, bro.
Yeah, like looking at these two, I would honestly do Tandem Unit and then do Dino Cry to set up if you could get them out on your first turn. So it's 2 basic blank Pokemon, and I'm assuming, like we said, they're Dragon type. That's going to be a huge setup right there. Because I don't know, I'd put either one of these in the active. And then you can get 2 more on your bench, so now you have 3 on your bench, and then you can do 2 basic whatever energy or discard pile to your basics, and that's a huge setup on turn 1.
And like I'm really interested because these are going to be basic Pokemon because there's no evolutions for them. And we'll talk about it when whenever we get into the Pokedex. Where there's no Pokemon that evolve into them. So these are just basic Pokemon. That's already really, really powerful.
If you play both of these, 220, I can just use, I'm assuming Air Balloon Switch is still standard. I can use those and do another 220 and just keep looping that until one of them's knocked out.
I do know what the rotation's going to be. They're rotating out Sword and Shield all the way to Shining Fates. Everything after Shining Fates will still be legal. There are certain like regulation marks that will be legal still, but most of the time, no, they're gone.
Yeah, those are like the letters like F, C, D put out, but they're like, yeah, we'll talk more about this later.
They are rotating the D regulation marks, and they only keep it up to F. So there are certain cards that are safe, like Great Ball, Pokeball, Professor's Research.
Professor's Research is staying, because that's a really useful card.
Okay, the E regulation marks are safe, so they're just rotating the D regulation marks. So any Pokemon that any card that has the G regulation mark is getting rotated out.
Okay, I'm looking at my Zoroark deck right now. Ooh, D
that hasn't been reprinted into E or F.
Okay, so like Oranguru gone, Crobat gone. That's gonna hurt.
Hold on.
So far, I don't know what Escape Rope has. Evolution Essence, Ordinary Rod, Quick Ball? Oh man, Switch? Uh-oh.
Yeah, Scoop Up Net's gone, Frosmoth is gone, Crobat's gone, Dracopult is gone.
Boss's Order? Oh. Barney? Jeez.
No, bosses we're keeping Boss's Orders.
Okay. I'm just looking at what I have in this deck.
Yeah, it got rotated. It got reprinted, so we're keeping it.
I just hope Oranguru and Crobat stay, because those are really useful.
Mew V and VMAX are rotating, finally.
Thank God. What about Meloetta? Because I feel that was the actual problem of that deck.
It's not showing. Wait, hold on. One Mew V is rotating. Let me double check the other Mew V.
Okay.
Let me double check that regulation mark. Nope, we're not losing it. I misspoke.
Oh.
It's E regulation mark. We're keeping it.
I'm looking at some cards I pulled from Lost Origin. Like, I have a Reverse Hollow Coffee. It has F on it. Almost all the other ones have E or F on them, so it's like, okay. I feel the letters are to make it easier for them to do rotation changes instead of it's this set to this set.
That's what Japan's been doing.
It's kind of nice that we're getting on par with Japan, so everything's kind of the same.
Yeah.
Japan for a while would be like, here's 5 little sets, and that's combined into 1 or 2 big sets for America, and it's kind of like, no, because you guys have better pull rates because your sets are smaller. It's
still gonna work. It's still gonna work like that. Unfortunately, Japan still gets the sets that sometimes we don't. But by Worlds, we should all be caught up to when it matters. Going back to Koraidon and Miraidon EX. I'm sorry I got a little sidetracked there. I wanted to talk a little bit about rotation. So Miraidon EX has the attack Photon Blaster for 220. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So it's just the same thing as Koraidon, attack-wise. The only difference is the ability.
And Tandem Unit, your turn does not end, while Dino Cry does end.
Which is really interesting to talk about, just looking at the way that the meta is shaping up and the way it's doing. It looks like they're going to be both really influential in the meta, depending upon what type they are, which now we're going to be talking about the games and stuff. So it is confirmed that Koraidon is going to be Dragon Fighting, and Miraidon is Dragon Electric in the game.
That's kind of cool. I'm getting Pokemon Violet. I'm getting Violet, so
am I.
Dragon Electric.
I'm like really interested in talking just about it, just because there's so much with Scarlet and Violet I'm just really excited about. Okay, so let's talk about this release window of information that we're having here, right? So 8 months ago, we find out, like, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet announced. This is just 8 months. We don't know how long the games have been in development. I would want to say that they had been in development since the start of Sword and Shield. because Pokemon like to do different teams for things. So I want to say that when Sword and Shield was in the crux of development, they were coming up with concepts for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And I want to say that whenever Legends was really taking off and they were doing that, the team that was working on Sword and Shield and the DLCs, after they got done with that, hopped onto Scarlet and Violet, just so that when Legends was being developed, they could side develop with Scarlet and Violet. Which we can see a lot of like the codependency, because like, not dependency, but like the inspiration, because a lot of what Scarlet and Violet has in it now, with the like the Let's Go mechanic that they have, where it's like Pokemon can battle by themselves, like an auto battle, as well as like you can just tell them, hey, go over here, go do this thing. That was very prevalent in Legends. That was a huge mechanic. The one thing that we're not getting back from Legends is the Agile and the Strong style, which really kind of sucks because I really did like those mechanics. They were very interesting. They changed up the Pokemon formula a lot, making attacks stronger and quicker, that sort of thing, as well as like the turn order thing. It was a really good level of strategy, in my opinion.
Yeah, like everything I'm seeing with Scarlet and Violet, I'm really excited for this game. Like the last time I felt excited for this was Legends, and before that, Black and White when I got back in. I'm definitely glad, like the Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu, they kept the, I want to call it live wandering Pokemon, where you can actually see them. That's such a cool feature because it makes it more realistic instead of here's some grass, poof, here's the Pokemon.
Yeah,
you can actually see it.
Sword and Shield definitely did that as well. Like, and then also Legends kept that, which they've been kind of refining it. So it looks to be like this is going to be one of the best games that we've had in a very long time. Just from leaks, rumors, just all the information, and the trailers that we've seen are all really, really good. Like just a gameplay. So I was looking back at one of the trailers that they showed us when they were talking about like the gyms and how you could take the gym challenge, the path to the Titan Pokemon stuff. There was a scene that had a low frame rate Sunflora, and then in this recent trailer that just dropped yesterday, they fixed it.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they fixed the frame rate issue that they were having. Like, it was like a stutter frame rate. Like, it looked like they were in a bunch of PNGs, how bad it looked. In that last trailer that we just had yesterday, which would be November the 8th, because we're recording this on November the 9th, it's interesting to talk about and just look at.
Yeah.
I didn't like that they included the Ed Sheeran Celestial song. It seemed like they were milking that pretty hard. But, you know, to each their own. So, and now looking at this release window here, we had the second trailer on June 1st. That like announced the names of the starters, more about them. It announced the professors, a little bit about the games. A couple Pokemon we found out about, like Palmy. I think we found out about like Chonk here, and I knew we found out about Titan here. That's the big ice type, the Ice Narwhal. I want to say it is. Looks really cool. And then after that, we don't hear any information until September the 1st. This is the Grafai trailer, which is people were talking about speculating that it was going to evolve from Smeargle. It actually isn't. It evolved from a mouse.
Yeah, which is interesting because it uses paint and everyone's theory about it kind of made sense. It's like, it's also a paint type Pokemon. Well, paint type's not a type, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, a painter Pokemon, yeah, like an artist. Then we get to September 29th, the second amount of information in a month. We get the Wiglet trailer. We find out about the worm, kind of like the Alaskan bullworm looking Pokemon kind of thing.
Yeah, when I saw that trailer, I was like, what is this? I thought it was fake for a second. I double checked that I was actually watching the trailer on Pokemon's official YouTube, and it was, and I was like, okay, here we go, Wiglet.
So like, for me, like, it was just like, I see it, and I'm like, oh, it just reminded me of that Alaskan bullworm from SpongeBob.
Yeah.
The Alaskan bullworm kind of thing.
People are probably going to name it that too. It's like, look at it. You can't not name it.
Yep. And then we go to 7 days afterwards, on October the 6th. We get the Farigiraf trailer that had the secret Pokemon in it. Which we ended up finding out later their names of. The like mushroom looking Pokemon, it's actually Salt. Its name is Nasili. Nacli. The two little mouse is actually just one Pokemon. It's called Mouse Family. Like, I don't know the official name of it. And then we found the Parakeet Pokemon.
Yeah, I want to get the Parakeet. It looks kind of cool.
And then we skip ahead to October 14th. This is the full official announcement of the Belly Bolt trailer. The new frog where its eyes are not really its eyes. It's just like, it looks like Grimace. You take out Grimace's color.
What if Belly Bolt shiny was purple? I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny. The next trailer we got was on the 25th of October. And this is the Greavard trailer. This is the ghost dog that we've already kind of talked about a little bit in a couple of our episodes already. But now we can fully talk about it. So that trailer was so good in like the way it announced it. It talked about it sucking the person's soul out of them, which was just like so insanely good.
It's like, oh, it's gonna steal your life force, and people are still like, oh, it's cute. And I'm like, for once, this is a ghost type that I'm a little wary of.
Right.
But I'll probably use it anyway because I like ghost types.
Yeah. Like it's a cute Pokemon for sure. And then afterwards, we skip all the way to November the 6th. We get the Gimmighoul trailer and the information from Pokemon Go, which was just like they did the whole chess thing. They quote unquote leaked it, quote unquote. They did the same thing with
I remember seeing that, and it's like like the first image I saw of it, I was like, that can't be real. It's so small. The placement of it looks weird on Pokemon Go, and no, it's a legit
thing. That was its roaming form. I was interested in looking at it. It was like really interesting to look at because Pokemon Go already did that type of announcement thing with a leaked it, quote unquote, with Meltan.
Yeah, I remember that too. Meltan, it's like, what is this thing? And everyone thought that one was kind of fake too, 'cause, like the way it looked in there, it seemed off.
We skip ahead to a couple days after that, which was yesterday. We had the new trailer with the Paradox Pokemon finally announced. The Iron Treads and the Giant Tusk reveal. These are the Donphan type Paradox Pokemon. Giant Tusk is the ancient, and Iron Treads is the futuristic, and man oh man do they look amazing. Like, just like in our last episode of me talking about it, I am a huge Donphan fan. And Donphan was already announced and confirmed to be in the game. So, having regular Donphan on top of getting these two? Oh man, I'm in heaven right now. For like Pokemon, of what we're gonna get. I'm like ecstatic about what we're gonna get.
Donphan was shown before its actual release in the anime. Was it?
Yes. It was shown in the Pokemon, the first movie.
I remember seeing that. My friend's like, what is this? What is this?
Yep, they always kind of do that. I found the picture of all the returning Pokemon coming back from Scarlet and Violet. So like, we can talk about this because like this is our Scarlet and Violet like talk about session. Okay, so these are the 100% confirmed they are coming back for the game. First, I want to talk about that bottom row in the picture. We have Charizard, which was already confirmed in yesterday's trailer, or right after it, to be like one of the black Terra raids. That's how Charizard's coming back. Then we are getting Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, Mew, Typhlosion. That's going to be Hisuian Typhlosion, by the way. Dialga and Palkia, Giratina, Victini, Hisuian Samurott, Tornadus, Thundurus, Landorus, Meloetta. Now, this is a really interesting thing that they're doing. Chestnut, Delphox, Greninja. That's really interesting. Why would they allow them to come back into this game? There's Diancie, Hisuian Decidueye, Magearna, Wordier, Kleavor, Ursaluna, Basculegion, Sneasler, Overquill, Enamorus. Those are the Pokemon that are like our Pokemon home transfers and stuff like that are coming back.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice list. I mean, obviously, everyone wants certain Pokemon. I don't know why they won't do every Pokemon, but it's their decision.
And now we can talk about the Pokemon that aren't from home that are actually in the base game itself. There's Raichu. Now, I'm going to only say the final evolution, but just think that just because the final evolution is going to be here, that the entire form is going to be here.
Which would make sense.
Just think the entire evolutionary line is going to be here. Okay, so there's Raichu, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Wigglytuff, Venomoth, Dugtrio, Persian, Berserker, Golduck, Primeape, Arcanine, Tentacruel, Slowbro, Slowking, Magnezone, Muck, Cloyster, Gengar, Hypno, Electrode, Blissey, Scizor, Poros, Gyarados, Ditto, all of the evolutions, Dragonite, and that's all of Kanto. So I think what they're going to do is, for Electrode as well, they're going to put the Hisuian forms in there. Like Hisuian, Electrode, Arcanine, stuff like that. As well as the base forms. That's what I think they're going to do.
Would make sense.
Just like I think Decidueye is going to be. Decidueye, Diplosion, Dialga, Palkia, and Samurott are going to be their base forms as well. Just like I think that the 3 legendary birds are going to be their original as well as the Galarian forms.
Would be nice to have them both.
Okay, so moving on to Johto, or Gen 2, with the Gen 2 Pokemon. There's Ampharos, Azumarill, Sudowoodo, Jumpluff, Sunflora, Quagsire, Honchkrow, Mismagius, Farigiraf, Fortress, Dunsparce, Quillfish, Weavile, Ursaring, Delibird, Houndoom, Donphan, Stantler, and Tyranitar. That's like the Gen 2 and the Pokemon that are evolved from them. So
it's a shorter list, but it's a nice selection of Pokemon.
Yeah, exactly. So here's Hoenn's Pokemon, and Pokemon that evolved from Hoenn Pokemon. So there's Pelipper, Gardevoir and Gallade, Masquerain, Breloom, Flaking, Hariyama, Sableye, Mawile, Medicham, Swalot, Camerupt, Torkoal, Grumpig, Cacturn, Altaria, Zangoose, Seviper, Whiscash, Tropius, Glalie, Frostlass, Lubdisc, and Salamence. That's a huge list, bro. We go on to Gen 4. Staraptor, Luxray, Vespiquen, Pachirisu, Floatzel, Gastrodon. It looks like it's going to be the East Sea instead of the West Sea. So it's going to be the blue and green slug instead of the pink slug, which I kind of prefer. The pink and brown slug, I like that version of it more. There's Drifblim, Bronzong, Spiritomb, Garchomp, Lucario, Hippowdon, Luminion, Abomasnow, and Rotom. Now we move on to Unova. There's Lilligant, Basculin, Crocodile, Crustle, Zoroark, Sawsbuck, Amoonguss, Alomomola, Electros, Haxorus, Beartick, Cryogonal, Bisharp, Braviary, Hydreigon, and Volcarona. So I know that you're probably over the moon because Zoroark's confirmed.
Oh yeah.
Like
I think I saw someone or an image that the Huisian form's gonna be in there too. Like obviously it was probably either a leak or a fake image.
No, it's confirmed. It's confirmed. It's in one of the trailers. It's Zoroark is in there. It's coming back. Like I'm pretty sure it was in one of the trailers. It's 100% coming back. Okay, now moving on to Kalos. Kalos, there we go. Talonflame, Vivillon, Pyroar, Lorges, Gogoat, Pangoro, Clawwitzer, Halucha, Daydene, Carbink, Goodra, Avalugg, and Noivern.
Is it Vivillon, the butterfly?
Yes.
I'm kind of hoping we see like new patterns maybe.
So far, it looks like there's not going to be any new patterns. It's going to be the same patterns that we've already had. But there's a lot of patterns.
There are a lot of patterns. That's why I was like, maybe some new ones, because they have some pretty nice patterns. And trying to get all of them is a lot.
I don't think that we're going to see new patterns until we go back to Kalos. If we go back to Kalos.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's something I do want to talk about in a little bit after we talk about everything with Scarlet and Violet. Just some information about it. Okay, so now moving into the Alola Pokemon. There's Gumshoes, Crabominable, Oricorio, Lycanroc, Toxapex, Mudsdale, Lurantis, Serena, Golisopod, Palossand, Pyukumuku, Kamola, Mimikyu, Rukshish, Dhelmise. I'm kind of blanking on some of these names because like there's a lot of Pokemon. I'm just like, what's this Pokemon again?
Is that pink fish again? That
Yeah.
I don't think anyone used.
That's Bruxish.
Sorry to anyone that likes that Pokemon. It's just it's one of those Pokemon that'll kind of go why. It's
Yeah.
like her ugly. I'm like, why does it change into that? Why did you take this nice looking Pokemon and do that? But it's beyond my scope.
And then we move on to the Galar region Pokemon. There's Greedent, Corviknight. What's that that Pokemon that Nessa used? I'm blanking on its name right now.
The turtle?
Yes. I'm blanking on its name right now. I can't remember.
Croconaw comes to mind, but I know that's wrong.
No, Croconaw's Gen 2.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Let me look on Sarah BB.
Dreadnought.
There we go. There we
I
go.
was close. I literally typed in Galar Turtle.
Thank you. There's Colossal, Flapple, Appleton, Seneconda, Barraskewda, Toxtricity, Poltegeist, Hatterene, Grimmsnarl, Phalanx, Pincurchin, Frosmoth, Stonejourner, Ice-Cube, Indeedee, Copperajah, and Dragapult. That's the full list of the returning Pokemon that are coming back in Scarlet and Violet. That's a lot.
That's a nice list.
Like, dude, I was like blanking on some of them. I forgot. I feel so bad that I forgot the Pokemon just because. But bro,
I mean, you did better than I did because I'm looking at some of these. I'm like, I don't even know its name.
it's just hard for me to forget, like, remember some of them just because they're so forgettable, bro.
Yeah, like Bruxish. It's like, did anyone, if anyone actually used that, like either TCG or the virtual game, let me know because why? Like when I first ran into it, I was like, ew. I have to catch you for the Pokedex because I actually want to complete it, but ew.
So now we're getting into the confirmed list of Pokemon that we are getting with this game, new Pokemon.
Yeah.
Which is I'm really excited to talk about. I'm going to talk about the starters now. Their final evolutions are going to be Grass Dark, Fire Ghost, and Water Fighting. That's 100% their final evolution typing that we're gonna get. 100% confirmed.
Congratulations to everyone who said no more fire fighting. We now have water fighting.
That's fine. We don't have any water fighting starters. This is the first.
Ghost Fire though, man, that makes me want to change to a fire type, but I'm like, no, I always pick fire type. And of the three, Sprigatito was the one that caught my eye, and I just kept watch of that one, so I'm picking that one.
The hidden abilities that they're going to have, because the regular abilities can be always Torrent, Blaze, and Overgrowth. That's always the base abilities. The final hidden abilities that they're going to have, Sprigatito's going in line is going to have Protean, which, for those who don't know, Protean is Greninja's hidden ability, which turns all of its moves that it uses into its type into that type. So, like, you have, let's say, Sprigatito using a fire type. It's going to become a fire type and use that move and get stabbed. It's just really interesting. You have Fuecoco getting Unaware. I think that Unaware is the ability that it ignores any change in the, any stat changes in the Pokemon. So, this is a signature ability of, like, a hidden ability of Clefable, Wooper, Quagsire, one of the abilities for Bidoof and Bibarel, one of the abilities for Woobat and Swoobat, the hidden ability of Pukumuku, and the only ability for Cosmog. Yeah, so it literally says when attacking, the Pokemon ignores the target Pokemon's stat changes. That's really good. And it's Fire Ghost.
That is. That's gonna hit hard.
And then we have Quaxley, who gets Moxie. Which, Moxie, whenever it knocks something out, I believe it gets a 2 times attack boost. No, it only gets 1 times. But it's 1 stage increase.
That's still not bad.
It boosts the attack stat after knocking out any Pokemon. Any Pokemon. It boosts the attack stat up. Notable Pokemon like Pinsir, Crocodile, stuff like that. Okay. So, now let's talk about their names. So, of course, we know Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxly, right?
Yeah.
So, Sprigatito's line is going to be Sprigatito, Floragato, Meowscarade. So, it is going to be a bipedal Pokemon. A bipedal cat. Kind of sad, but because most people are didn't want a bipedal cat. But it looks really cool. In their defense, in that, I think I like the design of Meowscarade because it looks like it's a magician Pokemon. I like that it looks like it's going to like a masquerade ball kind of thing. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's like seeing that. I'm like, okay, I'm really excited for Sprigatito now.
And it reminds me also of Phantom of the Opera, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've not seen Phantom of the Opera, go watch it. It's really good.
Yeah, I definitely recommend Phantom of the Opera. Whether it's you watch the actual movie, the theatrical version of it, or the Broadway play, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And now, let's talk about Fuecoco. Fuecoco evolves into Crocolar, and then Skeledirge. The coolest thing about the first evolution and the second form of Fuecoco, it has a sombrero.
Yeah, it looks like a nest with an egg.
Yeah. And then...
So what happens to the egg?
And then Skeledirge looks like a crocodile that reminds me of like the dry bones from Mario.
Yeah.
Just like one of those like rideable bridges and stuff like that. It just reminds me of that.
It's like, what happened to the egg? There's gotta be some story. Or is it not an egg?
No, it's just part of the sombrero. It's literally its hat. So, what I don't understand about Quaxly is how they messed it up. Why they messed it up. Because they were right about making it and linking its kind of moveset to be like how water flying, but no, they made it a water fighting type.
Yeah.
I don't get that. They completely dodged the bullet here with like how they were making it. And its names is Quaxly, Quaxwell, and Quaxaball, if I'm reading that correctly.
That looks right.
Yeah, I just can't really...
I feel the final evolution typing is because fans are going, don't do this, and they're like, cool, we'll not do that, because like people said, please, not another firefighting. How many firefighting do we have? Blaziken,
Emboar, and Infernape.
Yeah, and obviously people seem tired of that, so like, cool, Fire Ghost, which I think is a really cool combo.
I mean, they stopped it with Gen 6 with Incineroar. No, not Gen 6. Not Incineroar. Delphox. Fire Psychic. Incineroar was Fire Dark, mind you.
Yep.
Cinderace was Pure Fire, right?
Cinderace, trying to think, because to me it does seem like it's firefighting, but it might be
No,
just
it's Pure Fire. It's Pure Fire.
Yeah, it's Pure Fire.
What's interesting is they gave it the hidden ability for Cinderace Libero, right? Which is change the Pokemon's type to the move it's about to use. That's the same thing as Protean. Why didn't they just give Cinderace Protean? Like, do you think that makes sense to you? Like that?
No, it doesn't. It's weird. A lot of this stuff I'm seeing is kind of odd, but it's like it's probably for a good reason.
Did they just not want to bring Greninja back for the generation? They're like, fuck it, we're just gonna give it basically Protean.
I'm not sure.
Because Protean, it reads before the Pokemon uses the move, it becomes a pure Pokemon of that type. Which is the same thing as Libero.
Maybe it's for a good reason. We'll have to find out when the game comes out in, 9 days?
No, the game comes out Friday.
This Friday?
Oh, wait. No.
Oh.
Next Friday. My bad, the 18th.
Next Friday. Okay.
The 18th, my bad. Oh yeah, that's right, it comes out the 18th. I've been sitting here thinking it comes out this week. Oh, my bad.
Would be nice. Would be nice if it did.
Whoops. I gotta send one of my homies a message real quick. Cause I said that it comes out.
Okay.
I said that it comes out this Friday. No, it comes out. Oops. It comes out next
And
Friday.
it's like, as much as I want the physical version of the game, I'm probably just gonna end up getting digital just so I have it day one. Because the 18th, I am closing that night. I don't know what's going on. I tried asking people at work, I'm like, is there an event or something? And I've not gotten any answers. So I'm like, cool, it's a surprise, I guess.
It's like, guess we're guessing today.
Guess we're gonna find out, huh?
That fuck around meter went up high and you're gonna find out.
I mean, I'm chill with events, but anyway, let's
We're,
get back into this.
we're gonna move on to, there's Lechonk. And its evolution got leaked. It is
It's a piggy!
yes.
It's
There's it looks like Oink Alone. Kind of like
Yeah.
Cologne. Oink Alone.
Wait, alone? Are you sure it's not like baloney?
Maybe.
Lagna?
Maybe.
We've seen how
Oink
Pokemon
Alone.
names things.
Oink Alone. Oh. Oh. Oh.
My Oinkaloni has a first name.
So, it got two different type variants. One is male, one is female.
That's cool. I want both.
I do too, just for the completionist's sake.
Yeah.
Okay. The next Pokemon we have is Pawmi. It is pure electric. It's said to evolve twice. We don't know about the middle stage, what that looks like yet. But the final stage, we do have confirmation that it is a electric fighting type.
Ooh.
Stands on two legs, it's
That's
an
gonna be
electric fighting
fun.
type. It's like kind of like a rabbit thing. Yeah. Okay. Then we get into Smoliv, whose evolution is called Dolliv. And its whole line is a grass normal type.
It looks like an olive.
Yeah, that's the whole reason for it. And we
I
don't
love it.
we don't know about the third stage of it. We have next Fido. It's going to be pure fairy, and it's going to evolve once.
It looks like bread. I love it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw it in the trailer and I was like, I need that.
A lot of dog Pokemon I'm seeing. The next is Greavard, which is basically Litwick but a dog.
Because it starts out as a little candle and it looks like you have to like do something with the candle to get Greavard to spawn.
Greavard evolved once. We don't know anything about what it's going to evolve into, but it's going to be pure ghost. And then we move on to the next Pokemon, codenamed as Dark Dog. It's literally a dog that's a dark type that evolved once. We don't know anything about it.
I remember hearing about this. It's like, oh, there's going to be a dark type dog. And I was like, okay. Kind of reminds me of Lycanroc in a way.
And then the next, we have one of the first in the series, a Tarantula. Literally named Tarantula. It evolves once, and it's a pure bug type.
I'm definitely going to get that one.
I'm a completionist, so like, I'm getting
Everything.
yes, all of the Pokemon, every single one of them. The next Pokemon we move on to is Beetle. It's going to evolve once, and evolve from a beetle into another beetle, which is going to be Bug Psychic. So it starts out as pure Bug, and it goes to Bug Psychic.
There been any other bug psychic types?
Yes, or Beetle.
Oh, I really need to finish Sword and Shield just so I know more of the lore.
And yeah, we've had a Raccoonid Pokemon before, like Dewpider, Galvantula. Okay, never mind. We've had a Tarantula Pokemon before. My bad, but I don't think we've had the name quite as cool as Tarantula. I think that's just a cool name for it. But coming up next is one of the first that we have seen in the Pokemon series this far, a Grasshopper Pokemon. It is called.
Next, we have Cricketune, which is a cricket, and now we have its counterpart, a grasshopper.
Yep. It evolved once. It's called Nimble, and it goes into low kicks.
Cool.
They are grass dark.
9 more days, 9 more days. I can't wait.
I mean neither. Next, we move on to and a seagull Pokemon, which is going to be Flying Electric. I don't know its name. It's just a seagull Pokemon. It looks like it's going to be one of them early Pokemon that we catch. And then next we move on to a Pokemon literally called Parakeet.
I will say I feel some of these names are, I don't know, they need a little work.
For sure, but you know.
Was it Dark Dog, Beetle, Seagull, Parakeet? Like, come on, you get...
The Parakeet is actually its official name, but like Seagull and Dark Dog and stuff like that, that's not their official names. That's just their code name.
Yo, Seagull! I hope that would just be weird.
It's normal flying. Next, we move up to Flamigo, the first flamingo Pokemon in the universe.
Flamingo.
It's a flamingo that's an amigo. A Flamigo.
Yeah.
It is fighting flying.
Very interesting Pokemon they have here.
The next Pokemon we move on to is an ostrich. It's going to evolve one pure psychic.
I hope we see more Pokemon soon. They have 9 days. Do you think they'll show any more Pokemon?
Maybe in like a little tidbits in there, but that trailer that we had yesterday, that was the final trailer that they said. Final trailer for the game. They might release like 1 or 2 information things about maybe Pokemon, like by themselves, but that was the final like trailer that we're getting. The next Pokemon is the Narwhal. The Ice Narwhal that we're getting. We got Satotl and Satitan. Satotl is so friggin' cute. I love it. It is possibly one of my favorite Pokemon in this game, just from how cute it is. And now, we move on to another first in the Pokemon series, a Dolphin Pokemon. It's going to evolve one pure water.
Ooh, pure water. Dolphin type. That's gonna be fun.
Pokemon, yep. And then next, we move on to Bellibolt in its pre-evolution. Pure Electric. We only know Bellibolt, we don't know what its pre-evolution looks like yet.
I want to see Bellibolt. Like, all the information about that one, it's like, yes, I'll probably use that one too.
So after Bellibolt, we move on to our next Pokemon, which is codenamed as Hake Fish. H-A-K-E Fish. It's Water Psychic. Interesting type for it.
The Hake is an actual fish.
The next we have is Pink Hammer. That's all it's codenamed for. It's going to evolve twice. It's going to be Fairy Steel. Which is
another type that's technically weak to itself based on previous evolutions in games.
Yeah. Fairy is weak to Steel. Which is really cool. A really cool type pairing. I don't think that we've had Fairy Steel before.
I don't think so either.
Steel Pokemon. Let me double check real quick. I'm... Yes, we have Magearna.
Magearna, that's right.
It's just really hard with all of the Pokemon that are coming out.
For what? Oh, basically at 1,000?
999 is the final number confirmed.
That's
that's Koraidon's number.
They'd be like, hey guys, we're gonna add one more.
Yeah, I think with the Paradox Pokemon, they're gonna add it's gonna go over 1,000.
Yeah, because I remember they're like, hey, we're adding this Pokemon after the games come out, and you can get it by doing this. This game, they probably will make it 1,000.
I meant with all the Paradox Pokemon now that we're having it, because Miraidon's 999. But yeah. we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 Paradox Pokemon coming. So we have maybe 1,015 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Not including new forms in different forms and variants and stuff. That's a lot of Pokemon. Okay. After that, we have Gimmighoul and its evolution. And we also have a form difference, which is Gimmighoul's roaming form, which is what we see in Pokemon Go.
Yep, I have a screenshot of that, so I can actually share that. It's really tiny, and it's hard to miss whenever it was spawning.
The next one we are getting is kind of weird. A pepper Pokemon. Literally a hot pepper. Yes, a pepper.
Oh, Jose Jalapeno?
Yeah, basically. And its evolution got confirmed already, but we don't know its first stage yet. It's kind of it reminds me a little bit like the Applejacks, the apple-looking thing.
Yeah, the apple Pokemon.
The apple kind of, it looks a little bit like that. Like a monstrosity, it looks really kind of weird.
I'm trying to think. We've had cake, tea, ice cream, apple. What other food Pokemon are there, if any? Not counting Slowpoke.
I don't know. We got Magikarp.
Like,
We got Magikarp with the fish.
Because like people have been asking like forever. It's like, do they eat Pokemon? And it's like with all these food Pokemon, do they eat them? It's just
And
a lot to
we're
take
also
in and
getting
look at.
Smoliv. So Smoliv. So after the Pepper Pokemon, it's the pre-evolution to Armarouge and Ceruledge, which is something that we saw in in one of the trailers that the little knight-looking thing. It's pure fire type, and it's going to evolve into different Pokemon depending upon the version you have. So like in Scarlet, it's going to evolve in Armarouge, and then in Violet, it's going to evolve into Ceruledge. It's going to be from pure fire into either fire psychic or fire ghost.
Oh.
And Ceruledge and Armarouge and the baby Pokemon that evolved from it, those are all officially announced. They were all in trailers and stuff like that.
I love how everyone's like, these are just Mega Man.
Yeah.
It is.
After that is a Crystal Flower.
Oh.
It evolves once. It is a rock poison type.
I hope it's really pretty.
So like I'm looking at one of the evolution for it. It's actually a really pretty flower. It's in the second to last picture that I sent you. So next we move on to the salt Pokemon. Literal salt, like a salt shaper. Kind of looks like a Mario mushroom that we saw in the trailer. It is called Nacli. Nacli.
Oh, that one. I want to see that one's evolution.
It is pure rock type, which makes a lot of sense. The next, we move on to the engine. The literal engine from the trailers. The engine that's in the trailer is actually its final evolution. There's a baby, like there's a pre-evolution to it. It's kind of like a little motor. Looks really cool. It's going to be Poison, Steel. The next Pokemon we're getting after that is a Tumbleweed Pokemon. Going to be Grass Ghost, which is interesting.
But that's gonna have a good Pokedex entry.
It's going, it evolved once. So, Grass Ghost. Okay, and next, we move on to Graphite Eyes Pokemon, and the Pokemon that it evolves from. Shroodle. It's a mouse Pokemon. It is normal poison in both of its forms.
That's cool.
Like I said earlier, most people were talking about, oh, it might evolve from Smeargle, which would have been nice. I wish it did.
Yeah.
But no. Smeargle's a dog. This is a monkey that evolved from a mouse. Interesting to say the least. The next Pokemon that we have, it's a Pokemon that evolved once. It's called Mouse Family. That's not its like actual name. That's just a placeholder name. It's going to be pure normal. And from one of the trailers that kind of leaked, that's the Farigiraf trailer. It's that two mouses together. That's the baby Pokemon for it. And next we have one of the Titans himself, Quelf. The big rock crab. It is a rock type. Pure rock type, doesn't evolve.
It is so silly looking. And I love it.
The next Pokemon we have is a worm. Pure steel.
A steel worm. I wonder if it's gonna look robotic, because that'd be interesting.
The next Pokemon we have is a crane, another first. It seems like this game they're really trying with a lot of firsts for animals and things to base things off of. As like the common rumor, is, oh, Pokemon doesn't have any ideas left, they're running out of ideas. It's pure flying. Next, we have a sushi fish and a sushi master. The sushi fish.
That's odd.
The sushi fish is dragon water. And the Sushi Master is water type. Really weird. I think the Sushi Master is supposed to evolve from Sushi Fish. I think. I'm not sure.
Well, 9 more days, we will see.
Alright. The next Pokemon we move into is Wiglet. Wiglet evolved once, and it is a pure water type. The next Pokemon we move into are really cool. It's called Convergent Tentacool and Convergent Tentacool, or they're just Convergent Tentacool, and it's going to evolve into a different Pokemon. We don't know. It is grass ground. Same typing as
So
Torterra.
is this?
Same typing as Torterra.
So it's a plant basically,
Yeah. Or
or to sum it up, an Earth type
fungus,
Pokemon.
or like
which I know
fungus or
isn't a
moss.
real thing.
Or like moss. Fungus or moss.
I want to see that one. I want to see all of these. These are exciting.
In the next, we have the pseudo legendary, going to evolve twice. It is Dragon Ice, and of course, it's going to be evolved. It's going to be later in the game because it's a pseudo legendary, like Haxorus, stuff like that.
Ice Dragon. That just sounds cool.
So its main weakness is Fairy, but it resists Fire type. It's because
That's confusing.
Ice is weak to Fire. It's also weak to Rock, but Dragon resists Fire, so it's neutral. Okay. Next, we have the Primeape evolution. Fighting Ghosts.
That sounds like something happened to it.
Like an
But, you know,
old,
the Dark Tone's a Pokemon.
an old monk. It reminds me like an old monk. And it ascended, essentially. That's what it makes me think of.
Yee.
Next, we have a Bisharp evolution. To be like a really big samurai. It is Dark Steel. Same as
That one's gonna be so cool to see.
Same as pre-evolutions. Dark Steel. And next, we finally have a Pokemon that's long overdue for an evolution.
Indeed.
Dunsparce.
Uh-huh.
Pure normal, we don't know anything about what it's gonna look like, but we do know that we do deserve this. Dunsparce has deserved it long enough.
Oh yeah.
Let's hope it's
people
good.
Speculated it's a bug, it's a dragon, it's a water type. Like the way it's designed, there's so many things it could be.
And then next we have Farigiraf. We've already seen it. Normal, Psychic. And then we get into Paldean Wooper, which many people were speculating that we're going to get a Paldean form for Quagsire. We did not. Paldean Wooper actually got its own evolution called Clodsire. Poison, ground.
I can't wait to see that one too.
Weak to Psychic, weak to ground type. Then we move on to not one, not two, but three different forms for Tauros.
Ooh.
Tauros is a Pokemon that we haven't seen anything for, ever. Whenever Gen 5 came around, whenever Bouffalant got announced, we were thinking that the Bouffalant was going to evolve into Tauros, because Tauros is a bull, Bouffalant looks like a bull, but it's an ox. But no. The only picture that we have seen of one of the Tauros forms is a black-looking Tauros. It is pure fighting. It's going to be either pure fighting, fighting fire, or fighting water. Alright. After that, we get into just something named Yu Fish, a dark fire type. After that, we get into a Pokemon just named Dinglu Beer, either Dinglu or Dingfu Beer. It is a dark ground type. The next Pokemon after that would be like a Jingbao Leopard, dark ice.
Dark Ice. That's a combo.
After that is a Jianwu Snail. Then we get into Cyclizar, who is, I think, confirmed not to evolve into Koraidon or Miraidon. It is normal dragon. And then we get into Koraidon, which is dragon fighting, and then Miraidon, dragon electric. And we're still not done. We still have the Paradox forms to talk about. The Paradox Pokemon. Not forms, because they're new Pokemon. We have Paradox versions in Scarlet for Amoonguss, Jigglypuff, Misdreavus, Magneton, Salamence, Donphan, Volcarona. In Violet, we have Paradox Pokemon of Delibird, maybe Gallade, Hariyama, Hydreigon, Tyranitar, Donphan, and Volcarona. So, the reason why I said maybe Gallade is because it looks like a hybrid of Gallade and Gardevoir. And like Mega Gallade.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
That sounds cool, but also weird at the same time.
Then going over into possible DLC, we have in Scarlet a Paradox Suicune, and in Violet a Paradox Virizion. Really cool. We also got the types of the Paradox Pokemon. So the Paradox of Amoonguss is called Brute Bonnet. It is Grass Dart. The Paradox for Jigglypuff is called Scream Tail. It is Fairy Psychic.
So with that name, Jigglypuff puts people to sleep. Screamtail makes me think it wakes people up.
It's a menace. It just looks really, really weird. It looks really scary. I'm not gonna lie. Really creepy. We have the Paradox form for Misdreavus called Fluttermane. It is Ghost Fairy. We have the Paradox form for Magneton called Sandy Shot. It is Electric Ground. The Paradox version of Salamence is called Roaring Moon. It is Dragon Dart. One of the Paradox for Donphan is called Giant Tusk. It is Ground Fighting, and this is in Scarlet. And then we have one of the Paradox in Scarlet for Volcarona as Slitherwing. It is Bug Fighting.
Bug Fighting? Huh.
Yep, Donphan.
Take a buzzball.
Giant Tusk is Ground Fighting. Slitherwing is Bug Fighting. And then we don't know Suicune's Paradox form name. We don't know anything about it. It just could possibly be DLC. We don't know. We'll just have to wait for it to be leaked.
9 days. There's a lot that could happen between now and then.
And moving on into Violet. The Paradox version of Delibird is called Iron Bundle. It is an ice water type. Paradox version of either Gallade, hybrid thing, whatever it is. It's called Iron Valiant. It is Fairy Fighting.
Fairy Fighting, now that's a combo I want to see.
I think we've already gotten a Fairy Fighting type before.
Another thing that comes to mind is Gallade, but I'm pretty sure that was Fighting Psychic, right?
Yeah. Let me look real quick. Give me 1 second. Shiver me timbers, we have not.
Really?
Yep.
So this game is a lot of firsts, then.
Yes. And moving on to the Paradox version of Hariyama. It's called Iron Hands. It is Fighting Electric. Hariyama is regularly a fighting type. You want to know what this reminds me of?
Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan?
No. These Paradox Pokemon remind me of Delta species.
Yeah.
Different Pokemon, different types, different.
Have there been Delta species in an actual game that's not the card game?
No.
Oh, come on. We're giving you free ideas here.
The next we have is the Paradox version of Hydreigon. Iron Jugulis, it's called. Jugulis. It is Dart Flying. We have next the Paradox version of Tyranitar. It is called Iron Thorns. It is Electric Rock. Really cool typing. Next we have the other version of the Paradox Donphan and Volcarona. The Donphan is called Iron Threads. It is a ground feel. In the Volcarona, it's called Iron Moth. It is fire poisoned.
Fire poison.
Salazzle. We've gotten it before.
Yeah.
We've gotten it before.
Like, if that's a TCG card, holy crap. If it can do fire and poison at the same time, I know there's already a bunch, but ooh.
Yeah, it's very interesting. That's why I think they're bringing back either dual types or dragon, like pure dragon in the TCG. It is really cool.
If they did both, that'd be really cool.
Right?
I'm down for all these types.
So, that's all the information that we have. Hold on. Let me check Twitter real quick and see if there's if there's any new information about Scarlet and Violet. Haven't gotten yet. Nothing this morning so far. Terra Blast, the new move that if the user terrestrializes, it unleashes energy of Terra type. It is a normal type attack. The move inflicts damage using the attack or special attack stat, whichever the higher for the user. It is base 80 power, 100 accuracy, and 10 PP. It is TM number 171. Now we'll get into a little bit about... I have to change up the music because this is something like that I want to talk about. So, I think that the Pokemon games, I think this is going to be the last Pokemon game.
Oh, really?
So, the reason that makes me think that, it's because we're basically getting a lot of what Pokemon we've asked for. A lot of Pokemon are getting evolution that we have been asking for. Different forms. They're doing a bunch of different things, like the whole open world Pokemon. We're able to travel online with our friends, hopefully.
Yeah.
like in the actual open world together is something that we've wanted for a long time. And also, it's like confirmed that we're like having like 18 or 19 gym badges,
That is a lot.
and they all scale. It's scalable gyms in any order. Like, and also, thinking about it, it's we're getting a bunch of new mechanics and stuff that like it just feels so complete. We're getting a lot of Pokemon. Over 400, by the way.
Yeah.
Like the Pokedex is going to be like 400 or bigger. This is a huge Pokedex. Pokemon are coming back that we haven't seen in a long time into games. There are Pokemon getting the spotlight that normally haven't been. Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Home is getting implemented into Scarlet and Violet a lot faster than a lot of other games have. 2 months, it seems. Because it says it's coming in like early 2023. It just makes me think that this is going to be the final Pokemon game with everything that we've always kind of wanted. Like, I hope.
Do you think they'll do any remakes like they have before? What game do you think is next if they decide?
It's Black and White, but that won't be.
Shut up and take my money.
That won't be until a possible Gen 10 if we get any Gen 10.
Yeah.
But I don't know, with the rate that everything's going, it really doesn't seem like that.
I hope it's not the last one.
Like, I hope so too, but like, you know, like, it just makes me think that. Just because we're getting almost everything that we've always wanted to and asked them.
I mean, the only thing that would top it off is obviously a complete Pokédex, which we haven't had in a while.
And like, you also have to think, the Let's Go kind of thing, where Pokemon can be in the overworld.
Yeah.
As well as, like, them battling by themselves. We're seeing Pokemon walking with us and stuff like that. And the selfie mechanic, the riding on. Like, it just seems like the perfect formula for them to just be like, hey, we're done with these games. Thank you for everything that you've done with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah. I'd be sad if it was the last one.
That's why I think this might just be like, if they just had Venusaur, this might just be my game. The Pokemon game, one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
Like, just having my favorite Pokemon of all time. Just if they just added that. But yeah.
Who knows? They might add more. You never know.
This is definitely one of the biggest projects they've done in a long time. And it seems like with the Paradox Pokemon, that's going to be post-game. So it seems like we're going to have a good post-game too. And also, with them doing the TM building, stuff like that, it just makes me think that. And then also, the Pokemon Journeys anime is ending. There's 3 episodes left.
3 episodes?
Yep. They want to wrap it up around the time Scarlet and Violet comes out. So
right now Ash is fighting Leon with his last Pokemon, right?
Yep, Pikachu. Pikachu against Charizard and Cinderace. And then Cinderace has Libero. The new episode actually comes out tomorrow.
I want to watch him fight Leon from the beginning.
YouTube it.
Just so I'm like somewhat caught up.
YouTube it.
Well, it's like I have Netflix, I have Pokemon TV, I think that's their app.
Yep.
Yeah, Pokemon TV.
Yeah, tomorrow is when the, and I've been watching it in Japanese just because, like, I may not understand what they're saying, but, like, it's Pokemon. I can just see the move and kind of understand the connotation and context of it. Okay.
You think Ash will win?
It's already looking like he did. Just from spoilers, it's looking like Ash won.
How many years and he's starting to become, like, winning battles constantly?
Ash has been, like, hit or miss with the things that he'd won. And then he became the Alola region champion. Alola's first.
Yeah.
It's why he's in like the one. It's like the Masters 8 competition because he's a winner of his own region. He won Alola. Like a champion, he's a champion of a region.
Yeah.
He was in the same competition as Steven, Lance, Diantha, Cynthia, Leon, and I don't know why, but Alon got the floor mopped with him, with Leon.
Do you think Ash would ever have to go back to Alola to defend his championship title?
I don't know. What I do know is, I think that sort of wraps up our Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet episode.
We've been at it for a while. There's a lot of information here.
Yeah, like a lot of different things, a lot of Pokemon to talk about. So what are your thoughts on everything that we've seen so far?
The Pokemon look cool. I can't wait to see like their official names because obviously Worm, Crane. It's like that can't be it. It can't be it. I'm excited to see all the adventures. Was it co-op multiplayer you can do in there as well? Like that's exciting because I could play with anyone from anywhere basically as long as there's a connection.
Yeah, co-op online.
And versus the only way you could kind of do multiplayer in the games was a link cable, or you had to be within a certain distance, or
the crappy Sword and Shield, or the Sword and Shield crappy Wi-Fi thing. Yeah,
you'd get to the Wi-Fi era and it's not fully functional in a lot of the games.
But I definitely think that this is going to be one of the best Pokemon games that we've had in a very long time.
Oh yeah.
Even if they don't add Venusaur, I would still probably put it high up in terms of like just Pokemon, what it's done. It might even depending upon playing it, it might even rank higher than Legends for me.
Like,
Legends was in my top 3.
my favorite because that's when I got back in. I love Legends, and then just kind of goes from there. But we'll see how this game ranks compared to the others when it comes out.
For sure. Alright guys, I thank you for listening to us ramble on about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and everything it has coming and everything that's going to bring to us as Pokemon trainers, friends, Pokemon family, whatever we are. Don't forget to check on us next week as we talk about the Pokemon Silver Tempest TCG set, going over everything, the implications for the meta, and everything we plan to bring. This has been the Pokemon Team Galactic podcast, bringing a better world not just for you, but also your Pokemon. I've been Justin.
I've been Andrew.
Thanks for watching.
Wow.